Yeah.
I want to hone in now on Dame Lillard because he is first team All NBA. And I think a lot of people this year haven't given him the respect he deserves because this season is just as good as Steph Curry 2 years ago when Steph was second in MVP votes. And when he's on the floor this year, the Blazers have a 119 offensive rating. That'd be third best in the NBA. Without him, it drops to well below average at 110, 112, excuse me. And defensively is why the Trailblazers stink. The Warriors 2 years ago, I'm going to come back to this Steph comparison. They had a top five defense of Draymond. The reason the Blazers missed the playoffs this year is not because of Dame, it's because of a crappy defense. So I have Dame first team All NBA with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and whoever wins MVP. I think it's going to be Embiid, so he would be first team. But if Jokic wins it, I think he would be first team
Yeah.
instead. I don't vibe with the Marc Gasol theme where you win the award but you come second team. I think it's bull. I want to see whoever wins MVP be on the
Yeah.
first team center.
John, I wanna hone in on that. So you've Shea, Luca,
No,
Jason
no
Tatum.
Luca. It's Shea,
Oh,
Dame.
sorry, Dame. Yes, Dame, Tatum. Who's the foot? Giannis,
Yep.
and then whoever wins MVP.
Yep. Which I think will be Embiid.
Okay, so here's what I need to understand from you, right? And I'm not just attacking you. I just want, clarity on this All NBA. Does winning matter at all to you when taking into account for All NBA teams?
It does, but context also matters too.
I understand. Listen, I'm a king of context, okay? But context is still you can make that argument with context about Dame. At the end of the day, the context is they're on a crap team and he's not winning games.
They are a top 10
So
offense, and with them, it's top three.
what is that getting you? They're not even in the plan. So here's my thing, right? Why I asked you to clarify on that winning. Because my whole list, I take winning into the highest regard. If you're not winning, you're not on my list. So it has to do with your stats and winning.
Non impact. Impact doesn't matter.
Impact
should
is
be its own
there.
category,
Which
though, shouldn't it?
when I say winning, I should specify this: impact towards your team's winning,
Okay.
right?
I feel like Dame is one of the most impactful stars. He's a top
34
12
games
player.
is not cutting it when you got guys on the other list that are 20 games above him.
I don't blame that on Dame, though, because
You
team just
that's
shut
fine.
him
He
down the
doesn't
last 15,
he doesn't
last,
get the
last
criticism.
month.
That's fine, but you cannot reward a guy for bowling out singularity, but also say winning does take into consideration.
Dame didn't
You
ball out
have to
this year.
negatively impact him.
Dame was on the long list for MVP this season. There's a difference there.
Yeah, but
Dame had his best
again, you're
season.
doing wait,
Dame had his
wait.
best
I got
season
him.
in
I got
32.
him. I got him
Yeah.
again because this goes back to the conversation me and Romain just had about 30 minutes ago or whatever when he asked me, I forget what it was. See, you're saying what other people are saying. Homeboy, you're talking to me right now. Okay, you're talking my opinion. I'm telling you my opinion. A Dame Lillard would not have been anywhere near my list for MVP because you have to win. So for all NBA, you have to win.
It's an
And you
individual
can
award.
say it's not his fault. Brother, if you're not the problem, are you the solution? Are
Dame
you?
is a solution. Yeah, he's
Is he?
averaging
Why are they only at 34 wins?
because they won the worst defenses in the NBA.
So he's on a terrible team and he's balling out by himself.
I mean,
So
they were.
discredit
Think about it
Steph
this way,
Curry,
though.
discredit De'Aaron Fox,
He had a better year than both those
Donovan
guys.
Mitchell,
He was better than him.
Devin Booker,
Dame
Jay
was better than
Crowder,
both.
all these
Dame was
guys.
better than
John.
all of those guards you just named. When the
That's
Blazers
not
were
the
healthy,
point.
Okay.
when the Blazers
That's
were
not the
healthy,
point.
they were the number one seed for 2 weeks. When they were
That's-
healthy,
Who?
early in the season, the
Who?
Trailblazers. 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
What the fuck
John?
are you talking about? You brought up there
They weren't healthy, and they
when
had
nobody
no
was watching the games early in the season.
I hate to
John,
break
I'm gonna
it to
look
you,
at it-
but
John, I'm gonna
this
look at
is
it
an
this way right now.
individual. All NBA's individual awards.
No.
So while winning does matter. Winning should not.
Wait,
demerit
that's why I
those
asked you.
awards.
That's why I
That's not demerit
directly
a player.
asked you, John Tortorelli. That's your name right there. It says right there, John Tortorelli. I asked you directly. Do you take winning into consideration? You said yes. Now you're switching?
Wait,
I said it
John,
plays a role, but
Wait, John,
context
2
matters
seasons-
more.
2 seasons
Context is
ago-
more important.
So
than
then what about
individual awards.
stats? So
What about stats? I'm just talking
No,
about
Steph.
how much do you drive? He had a better year than Steph Curry. Damian Lillard was better this season.
well, you don't even so he can have a better year statistically wise. I mean, I don't think it's by that much of a
When he was on the
margin.
floor, the Trailblazers offense was better than the Warriors offense.
Okay, that's fine. But does he what you're not even taking into account the wins.
Wins matter, but Steph has
It's not even
Draymond
just.
Green,
It's not
Steve
even.
Kerr, and pretty good
You're
starters
taking
alongside
away.
him.
You
Does
shouldn't be
not.
taking away credit from a guy just because he's playing on a better team.
And
That's
that's
not
why you
fair.
value wins, but context will tell you, okay, Steph had a much better roster, but that's irregardless of
How?
how good the individual was.
How? That year, how did
If
Steph
you
have a
put
better roster?
Draymond on the
No, right now, we're
Trailblazers, they're
talking
winning
right now,
more
we're talking
games
right
this
No,
now.
year.
but he's talking about Steph Curry. No, he was talking about Steph Curry 2 years ago when he made All NBA. When
Yeah.
his
That's
team,
the
this
point
year
he
as
was
well.
making for why Lillard deserves to be
Yeah,
there.
but I'm
I'm
saying,
talking
like,
right
I'm
now.
saying back then, how did Steph have a better team than Dame does right now?
He had Draymond Green the entire season. If Draymond Green was in the Portland Trailblazers, they would have won more games this year in the Warriors.
Okay, see, I
confident.
love Draymond, but this is where it gets to the point where people are starting to put a little too much
He's
stock
one of the
into
5 best
Dame.
defenders in the world and one of the 5 best playmakers at his position. You mean to tell me for a Trailblazers defense that was bottom 5 this year, if you put a defensive player of the year on that squad, the Warriors want to take a massive step back?
Okay,
when
but
without
look at it this
Draymond
way.
this
You're
year,
giving
they were
Dame a
the
lot of credit
defense
for
in
like
the
Portland's.
NBA. The worst defense. With Draymond on the floor, the Warriors were the best defense in the NBA. That's the type of player Steph Curry gets to play with. One of the greatest defenders we have ever seen. You put him in Portland, I guarantee you they're winning 45 games at least.
John, wait. No, wait, never mind.
Right now, I'm looking at the numbers right now. But if you're gonna give Dame, if you're gonna give like Draymond that much credit for Golden State's defense and not the fact that they're that cohesive, but you're gonna sit here and give Dame this much credit for Portland's offense when you have Jeremy Grant having a career year shooting 40% from me, Anthony Simons having a career year shooting 37%.
But they drop off to 112 without him, though. What about that?
I just
119 with him. 7 points better. That's a pretty big gap.
Your list kind of makes
sense. That's your superstar. You expect that when that's your superstar.
The Warriors don't have that big of a gap.
When your list kind of makes sense because of the way you've laid it out, so it's hard for me to.
Let me put it this way, Brandon. All NBA's 15 best players in the world. Winning, that's going to put Julius Randle on my team. Julius Randle's not more deserving than a top 10 player.
I'm not disagreeing with that. Damian Lillard is freaking
this
phenomenal.
Year, yes, he is.
I know he is, man. But when you're going in this season, I feel like winning has to matter. And all the guys I have ahead of him on my list are winning. They're in the playoffs.
I have Dame on my All-NBA team. He's
not on mine. He's not on mine. No, he's not on mine.
So winning's the only reason to have him off.
No, it's not. It's stats.
Player.
It's stats.
He's got amazing stats, the best year of his career, and he's had
you take
an
wins
impactful...
completely out of it, Dame is first team.
Without a doubt.
Okay, but I'm not going to do that. I will not do that because then it just becomes a rhythm. What the hell are we playing for? We play to win.
This is all NBA. It's the best players in the world. It's not how many games you won. That's bullshit.
That's why I asked you, does winning matter?
That plays a role in it. That's like a tiebreaker between players. But that's for you. That takes Dame, who is a first-team All-NBA performer without wins, off your list entirely. So you're clearly way too biased about wins.
No, it's
and that's
not.
affecting your
You act
judgment.
like all the other guys on my list.
I can't value your All-NBA opinion. If that's going to be the entire reason why he's not All-NBA, I can't value that opinion. I can't. I can't take it seriously.
You act like You act like all my other guys on the list are trash. You act like all the other guys on my list are
Dame has been much better this year than all those guards like Devin Booker. Devin Booker's missed a ton of time this year. A ton of time.
Okay, but
and the Suns
so is Dame.
Playoffs.
Okay, but if you're gonna do
that
right now,
games,
how are you?
Damian Lillard was much better than Devin Booker.
Are you comfortable?
A full level above Devin.
Comfortable with guys like Donovan Mitchell, John Morant, Devin Booker's not on my all NBA teams this year either way. But are you comfortable with all these guards? Potentially a guy like De'Aaron Fox, who had an insane season, getting snubbed because you want to put Dame on the first team.
De'Aaron Fox is on my team.
I'm just saying right now. I think there's plenty of guards that have been not only as offensively impactful as Dame, but they're also on teams that they provide a certain level of impact that they win. I understand Portland's defense sucks. Part of the reason why it sucks is because of Dame. I understand that I understand offensively they're great. That doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
Blame it on the roster construction, but guess what? Your roster construction is gonna cost you some awards. Guess he could have been the MVP conversation if Portland was winning this year.
You have to take
not going to be because guess what?
If that's the case, then MVP. Then you'd have to. The winning has to be taken out for that. It just It's interesting how you describe it, John. But
At
for
that
me,
point, I feel like yeah, we're literally underrating winning way too much.
Yeah.
At
You
that
guys
point,
are
it just feels like,
overlooking.
No,
All
I'm
NBA
not. I'm
affects
not.
supermax contracts.
let
So to
me-
give it to
Dame's getting paid
undeserving
250
players who
mil.
are not
He's
top 10
good.
players is going to completely mess up the salary structure for the truly best 15 players in the world.
bro,
Dame
John,
is
I
locked up for
guarantee
the next
you.
5 years with 250 mil. He's good.
Don't
I
set the standard the
guarantee
wrong
you-
way, because now the expectation is you have to win games. If it's MVP, wins matter more. But for All NBA, this is individual awards. I think Damian Lillard was a top 10 player this season.
So
and
let
a
me ask
top
you,
2
so-
in the
so
league.
But this reason is
75%,
also the reason why I don't even
75
have Shea on my first team because of winning.
Shai's
So
been
70. So 75% stats for John, 25% winning. Is that the
No,
margin you're looking
stats
at?
is not 75%. Was Dame a top 10 player because of his
I'm
impact?
asking you how you weigh this award out. So for me, it's 50-50. I
His
look at their
impact,
statistical
his
impact and their
production,
winning
and the
impact.
team, and how vital he was to his team. So impact, effect, and production. Stats are not 75% of my reasoning here. It's when he's on the floor.
Statistical
top 10 player.
production is what you're saying. Statistical production is that.
Yeah, but
Like,
I'm not just going off his 32 points. It's when he's on the floor, the Blazers are
That's
top 2 offense.
statistical production, my guy. That is literally the definition of statistical production. So that's why I'm saying I'm taking all that into account. I'm not saying just his I'm taking all those stats you laid out too, that when he's on the floor, when he's off the floor. That's statistical production.
Yes.
You want to say effect and use semantics, we're going in semantics.
Elite offense.
That's why I'm
is what
saying
he is. He's an elite
75%
offense.
of your rating is statistical production, while 25% would be winning effectiveness. For me, it's 50-50. You say I'm overlooking. I'm literally telling you I'm not. So you have to have the statistical production for me and the winning. Both have to correlate. If one is completely off, I'm sorry, and I've got somebody else who's pretty even, you're getting bumped. That's just how the world works. That's how, for me, in anymore. Maybe not you, but for me it is. This is my first team. Steph Curry, Jaylen Brown, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jason Tatum, and Nikola Jokic as my center.
Jaylen Brown, first team.
Is he not averaging 27 points per
A
game?
little bit with that one.
Is he not averaging 27 points per game?
Yeah, but that puts him on my second team because you have right now my first
So
team.
who's the other guy then?
What do you
No,
have
who are you
Jaylen Brown
taking?
as a
So you said
forward or-
Jalen's
what do you
on your
have Jaylen
second
Brown,
team. So
forward
who's
or
the other?
guard?
Well, for me, I have Jay. That's why it's kind of weird for me because Jaylen, for me, I look him as a shooting guard. Maybe he plays small forward.
Yeah,
but-
I have him as a shooting guard too, but I
So
have
who's the
I have
who's the
my
second
first
guy?
I have my first team as
Donovan Mitchell.
yeah. I have Steph, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and Embiid.
Yeah, Donovan's on my second team.
I have
I
Donovan
have-
first team.
I have Shea,
Respectfully,
Donovan, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and Embiid.
Shea, and who was the other guard?
Donovan.
Shea and Donovan. Gotcha.
Yeah, second team is where it gets a little bit funky, but that's why I have Shea, Luka, Jaylen Brown, Jokic, and freaking how did I forget his name? The other forward.
Giannis?
Bonus?
No.
Sabonis?
Sabonis. There you go.
It's a bonus.
Second team, and then third team. Third team. That's where I have De'Aaron Fox. That's where I have I have De'Aaron Fox. I have LeBron on my. I have LeBron there. I did have Lauri Markkinen, but I was between him and Julius Randle, and I think Julius Randle's just a little bit more deserving this season from how he played.
Yeah, it's interesting because see, look, I understand John's reaction to.
Jaylen Brown All NBA above Jason Tatum.
He's not. I have Jason
for
Tatum
him. Oh, and
on
I have-
my.
I have him- I
Wait,
have
whoa,
Jaylen
whoa!
Brown
See, this is the
second
thing.
team.
He reacted so bad. Jason Tatum's on my list. You walked away without me explaining that I have Jaylen Brown as a shooting guard on my list. It's a guard for me. So
He is
you
not a
didn't.
top
Did you not
two
listen?
guard.
Steph, Jaylen Brown, Giannis, Jason Tatum, Jokic.
Jaylen Brown on first team All NBA is absurd.
How is that?
It's not
He's not a
absurd.
top
This-
15 player in the
It's a
world.
little bit of a push, but it's not absurd.
He's
It's
not top
understandable.
15.
Oh,
And he's not having a top 15 season either.
Is he
He's
not
on my
having
third
a
team,
career
maybe.
year? He's averaging
really good
27 points. I think 49% shooting from the field.
And defensively, he's taking a step back in the regular
Oh my
season.
god!
So
What's
maybe
Damian
granted-
Lillard defensively, my guy? Are you really kidding me right now? You want to talk defense?
Yeah.
When has Damian Lillard ever been a top defender?
He makes up for that with the 7
He
assists.
makes up for that with
playmaking.
the story of Yeah, disrespect Jaylen Brown. He's taking a step back on his worst
First
day.
team All-NBA
On his worst
is
day,
ludicrous.
Damian Lillard can't lace up his boots defensively. So what are you talking about?
We're talking about this season.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown's nowhere near first team All-NBA.
Okay, in your opinion,
Nowhere near.
100%, because you
He's
don't
not a
value
top
winning for
15
me.
player.
Winning
He's not
means
had
a
a top
lot to
15
me.
season.
Winning means a lot.
All right, let's do this. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander clears. Dame clears. Steph. De'Aaron Fox, I would also have above him. And Luka Doncic, a top 5 player in the world. I know the Mavericks defense was trash, but in the start of the season, he was an MVP candidate. That's 5 guards right there who are so far and away above Jaylen Brown.
Again,
I don't even think about his
only
name.
looking at
Then
you're
I get
only
to
looking at
Donovan
talent.
Mitchell, Devin Booker, and a Jaylen Brown's maybe top 10.
You're not
maybe
look-
top 10.
you're-
Top 2 to me is ludicrous.
You're
That's absolutely
only
ridiculous.
you're only looking at talent when I've literally laid out my definition. And you don't want to go at my definition. You want to go at your.
Also, I feel like you're underrating Jaylen Brown a little bit there because that's kind of.
Is he on the level of Luka Doncic, Steph Curry, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Damian Lillard, or De'Aaron Fox? Maybe De'Aaron, right? Maybe. But De'Aaron this year has been a more important player to his team.
I mean, we were talking
When you
Jaylen
want-
Brown. Can he be number one on a championship team?
I have Luka and Jaylen Brown on my second team. The problem with all NBA team is that they fluctuate because of production and winning each season. That's why they fluctuate. And if
That's
you're
why
gonna
you're not
fluctuate them
listening to
this
the words.
season, I can understand why somebody would make the reach of putting him on their first team. I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah, that's
I'm not gonna
fair.
do it.
That is completely fair. If your definition you don't take, which I'm agreeing with you, John, your thing is winning doesn't take that much impact into your all NBA, and that's completely fair because that's your opinion. Me, winning means 50-50. And I just explained to you before that if the stats are here with you, right, Lillard is going to be a little bit higher than him, or whatever higher, but winning here, they're the second best team in the entire NBA.
And also,
Sorry,
I love
man.
Dame, but I just
The Celtics are a
I feel like
50-win
we're just-
team
I
still
feel like-
without Jaylen Brown.
I feel like people are just throwing too many awards and too many things at Dame for consistently losing. It's and I understand it's not always his fault. It's not always his fault, but it's just too much consistent losing. Yet we keep giving him these awards. When there's other guys, I feel like they're a little more deserving. I would have Jaylen Brown on the NBA All NBA first team before Damian Lillard.
Dame just had his best season.